Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly. Now, as you can see by the title of this video, it's content that is completely different to what I normally post on my channel. But having gone through some health issues for the last year, I felt this was an important topic to discuss, and I wanted to share it with everybody in case it helps one person in their health journey. So let me start by prefacing this video. I am not a health practitioner. I am not a nurse. I am not a doctor. I am simply a woman going through menopause who has found something that has helped her cope with some of the symptoms and health issues that she was having. But I do encourage you, if you are feeling stressed or if you are feeling things aren't quite right, to seek help with your doctor. Get that baseline done with them before you start on any kind of supplemental regime or going with the latest fad. Check with your doctor first to make sure it's for you. Make yourself comfortable, grab your tea, your coffee, whatever kind of drink that you like, and let's just have some good old-fashioned girl talk. These are things that I wish I had known many years ago. So if I can help one person today, I will be thrilled. But I just thought some good old-fashioned girl talk about this subject that, we always have the first talk when we're starting our periods, but after that, nobody really talks about menopause. It is having its moment right now. There's lots of people talking about it on TikTok and Instagram I'm seeing, and even here on YouTube I'm beginning to see more and more. So more power to us women. Let's support each other and encourage each other and offer advice. If there's something that has been working for you as you struggle through these years, please let us know in the comments below. I am constantly looking for ways to improve my health, help me manage my symptoms, all that kind of stuff. So let us know in the comments below what you're doing and how it's working for you. I'm 62. I think I'm on the tail end of it, of menopause. I hope so. But I'm still feeling some effects. We all hear the usual hot flashes, night sweats, things like that. And I really wish I had known this way back, because it probably would have helped me so much as I go through menopause. So without any further ado, let's get into today's video. To be honest, this is something that was never on my radar as I hit perimenopause and menopause. I never heard it discussed. It never came up in any research I really did about certain things to do with menopause until recently, when I really started diving into it. So I guess the only way to begin this is to start at the beginning and flip back to the beginning of 2024 and what I was starting to notice in myself, in my health. I actually started noticing it right after Christmas, but I put it down to the fact that, it's the Christmas rush. I do work full-time still, and work can be very stressful at the end of the year. So I thought, it's, I'm now done with work. I'm ready for my vacation, but it's Christmas time. All the good stuff that comes with the Christmas season. So I kept thinking, come January 1st, I'm going to get back on that horse and I'm going to exercise. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to take care of myself, and I will be good to go for the year. Well, that never happened. As the year started, I began to notice in early January that I just felt off all the time. Extreme fatigue. Fatigue like I had never seen before. I've always been an active person all my life. I've exercised. I was a competitive figure skater back in the day. No word of a lie, come home at 5 o'clock, get in my pajamas and sit on the couch for the whole evening, go to bed. Around 9:30, I was exhausted. Then by the end of January, getting into the beginning of February, every day I would come home from work and I would say, honey, I feel like I'm getting a sore throat. I feel like a cold is coming on. I always felt like I was fighting something. I never got a cold. I never fully got sick, but I always felt that was happening to me. Because I've always been active all my life, my knees were starting to hurt to the point where it hurt to go outside to walk. It hurt to walk on the treadmill. It hurt to go up and down stairs. My hips were starting to feel the same way. So I said, because my knee hurts, I'm compensating with my hip. So I just put it down to that. And my hair was falling out in clumps. I thought, oh my goodness, but it's just part of aging. I might as well get used to it. It's part of aging. Muscle soreness, even when I did manage to work out, it seemed to take forever to recover. And then I started to notice closer to the end of February, I started to feel like I was having heart palpitations. And when I say that scared me beyond belief, I cannot even tell you how scared that made me feel, because it was happening every day. Throughout the day, I would be sitting, and it would happen if I was sitting, if I was standing, if I was slowly walking around, because let's face it, I wasn't moving fast, that is for sure. But I felt like I was always having heart palpitations. I was terrified, because heart disease does run in my family. Both my younger brothers have had bypass surgery. One had a massive heart attack a few years ago, albeit they were both smokers. One of my brothers doesn't, eat the best. He doesn't have a very healthy lifestyle. So that contributed to their disease, but it does run in my family. And when I started experiencing these heart palpitations, my mind just went berserk. I was sure I was dying. I was convinced. So finally, my husband said, you have to contact your doctor. We have to get to the bottom of this. This is not right. This has been going on for far too long. And really, if I'm honest with myself, I said, I kept saying, well, it's only really been a month or two. And he would remind me and say, no, honey, this started back last fall. You started complaining about a lot of these things. By the end of March, I was already at about 6 months of feeling like this. So in March, I did contact my doctor, and she gave me a full blood workup. The day before we were to leave for our vacation in Arizona, which is where I am currently filming, she called me, and I was at work, and I will never forget this call. And she said, I just got 1 or 2 results back. I don't have everything back, but your vitamin D is so low. She says, I've never seen anybody with vitamin D in their system so low. You need to get on a supplement ASAP. And she said, you'd have to take, she says, normally I would say 1,000 milligrams a day would be sufficient, but you are so low that I need you on minimum 2,000 up to 2,500, and let's start with that. And I thought, okay, my vitamin D is low. Okay, I'm not surprised. Haven't been going outside very much. It's winter time. It's cold. It's snowy. It's blizzardy. It's icy. When I tell you it was low, it was low. I don't pretend to be able to read blood work. I just looked at my results, and they give you a little chart that says normal range was 70 to, I think it was 120. And then it shows your marker on it. And I was at a 20. I was pretty low in the vitamin D department. So vitamin D deficiency had never come into mind when I was experiencing all these symptoms. But after reading up on it, it made sense. Here are some of the symptoms of vitamin D deficiency in women I found when I did my research. Fatigue, infection, feeling like you're always getting a cold, back, bone, muscle pain, weight gain, which I certainly experienced, feelings of forgetfulness, brain fog, depression, hair loss, bone loss, which can lead to osteoporosis, and the feeling of heart palpitations. So now, every morning, I take my vitamin D, I take my magnesium. I've started taking a B12 as well. She felt that one was important. We are keeping an eye on my calcium and my potassium. They were at an okay level, and she felt that because the vitamin D had been so low, that might have been affecting those 2 results as well. So I'm really anxious to get my 6-month blood work test done to see where I'm standing now in terms of my vitamin D. I already know it has improved because I am no longer feeling fatigued to the point that I can barely get up in the morning. I have my energy back. Forgetfulness, the brain fog, I'm 62, I'm getting older, so it's still there, but it's nothing what it was back in. My knees and my hips no longer ache. I am able to exercise and that feels so good. And I'm either walking on the treadmill on an incline. I'm starting to lift weights because the weight training is good for women over the age of 50. If you've done any research on that, I'm not talking I want to be a muscle-bound woman. I just want my muscles and my bones to be strong. I want to be around for a long time. I've got grandbabies. I want to be that grandma. I want to be that grandma that's running around, playing with them and things like that. And back at the beginning of the year, I was not that grandma. It was hard getting down on the ground to play. I was exhausted after 2 minutes. I didn't want to do anything. And that nearly killed me as well. So I want to be that grandma. What else? My depression and my anxiety have subsided substantially. So now when something happens at work, I'm able to cope so much better than I was back at the beginning of the year. And what else? The heart palpitations. I don't have them anymore. And I am so relieved, so relieved. The dizziness and the nausea that I was having, that's all gone now too. Overall, I know my vitamin D has improved greatly. So one thing I do want to emphasize as well, if you do go to your doctor, start on your baseline and get whatever supplements that they recommend for you, just know it takes time. So after a week of taking, my vitamin D and stuff, I'd say to my husband, it's not working. It's not working. And he would look at me totally exasperated. I mean, I would have been too, but totally exasperated. And he said, Kel, it took you how many years to get your vitamin D to tank? He says, it's going to take weeks, if not months, for you to start feeling like it's working. So you have to stay the course and you have to just keep taking it and having faith that it's going to work. So I encourage you, when you start on whatever kind of journey you're starting on, it's consistency. It's going to take time for things to take effect. It doesn't happen overnight. That was one of my biggest things. I wanted the miraculous drug to work, and that's just not life. I've learned to just be patient with the process. Patient with the process. So this next step that I put into my health journey may sound kind of funny, but it has really helped with my mental health, and that is find people to talk to. Find your tribe. Find someone, a friend, a family member, your spouse, a coworker, a support group out there, but find a safe place where you can openly talk about how you're feeling. I was keeping everything inside. Well, my husband wouldn't say that was true. He was hearing it day in, day out. And I began to feel like, oh my gosh, he's going to get so sick and tired of hearing about this. But I cannot tell you, I cannot stress what a support system I have in him. I'm so very lucky, so very blessed that he's put up with me all this past year with this stuff. He will openly talk about it with me, and I love him for that. But the other thing that I discovered was one day at work, I went into the lunchroom to have lunch, and I sat down with a coworker, and her and I are about the same age. She's a little bit younger, and we got chatting. Lo and behold, she was having the exact same symptoms I was having, and she was going through her doctor too to try and figure out what was wrong with her, and getting nowhere fast. And the both of us just sat there and looked at one another, and I think we both could have cried at that point, because we kind of found our tribe. And then a couple of days later, another woman and we met in the washroom of all places. And she is so funny, and she has such a great outlook on life. And we got to talking, and she's going through the same things. And she goes, yeah, I feel like that too. I get those dizzy spells. I get that nausea. Because I was having dizzy spells as well. That was the one other thing I forgot to mention. I was having a lot of dizzy spells, and that was driving me crazy. But we got to laughing in the washroom. So now the three of us have this kind of little support group every once in a while at the office. It is so comforting to have this, to be able to speak about it openly and not just be brushed aside, which I was feeling a little bit at my doctor. It was like, oh yeah, you're 62, this menopause, whatever. But it's so refreshing to be able to find that support system and to be able to speak openly about it. So I really encourage you to look around. You will be surprised. There's probably somebody very close to you right now going through the same things as you and just wishing they could talk about it as well. So I encourage you to look around. And if you feel like you do not have that support system, we can be that support system for one another. Sound off in the comments, menopause, if this is something that that you are interested in talking about, in being heard. Let us know in the comments below how you're feeling, what you're doing to combat whatever it is that you are feeling, because we can all learn from each other. Women are so strong, but we also are silent a lot, and we need to let it out and talk about it and not be afraid to say things. So if you did enjoy this video, and I hope that you did, and I hope it helped you or someone that you know, I hope it helped them in some way, please think about subscribing to my channel. I'd love to have you join me each week. I also share home decor videos. If you are new to my channel, that is really where my passion is. But women's health and this journey that we're all on is a new passion of mine. I am ferocious about supporting women, and especially during these later years where we're dealing with so many other stressful things. I mean, menopause is one of them, and there's not enough talk about it. I once heard a doctor say, not every woman will have a baby, but every woman will go through menopause. And how true is that? Thank you so much for stopping by. I know this wasn't one of my usual content videos here, but it was something that was on my heart, and it was something that I felt I needed to express, because having talked to the women at the office and my husband and a few other family and friends, I realized that it's not something that we talk about enough as women, and I just felt it important to get it out there. And if this can help one person in their health journey, then I am so thankful that I decided to break out of my comfort zone and share this with you. If you enjoy this type of video, let me know that as well, because I have so much more to say on this subject. There's so many other things that I'm doing with my health journey, and I can share those as well. It's not just all about the vitamin D, there's other little tweaks here and there. But for now, this is today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And until I talk to you in my next video, guys, I hope that you stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful week. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Bye.